Fiancée demanded we livestream our wedding to make it viral and perfect. Behind the scenes, she was cheating with a groomsman, so I gave her exactly what she asked for. What happened mid-ceremony turned her dream day into a public disaster she'll never forget. I'm writing this from my home office, surrounded by boxes. Everything that was hers is packed up, waiting for the moving company I hired to take it to storage. She can figure out where to put it all. Not my problem anymore. 3 days ago, I stood at the altar and destroyed my fiancée's life in front of 200 guests and about 1,400 livestream viewers. I feel nothing but satisfaction. Let me back up. I met her 2.5 years ago through mutual friends. She was beautiful, funny, seemed down to earth. We clicked immediately. For the first 6 months, everything was perfect. She had maybe 3,000 followers on Instagram, posted occasionally, nothing obsessive. Just normal stuff. I proposed 8 months ago. Good job in software engineering, 6 figures, own my house, felt ready to settle down. The ring cost me 15 grand, she'd been sending me subtle hints for months about the exact one she wanted. Whatever, I could afford it. The second that ring hit her finger, something shifted. Suddenly, our engagement wasn't just ours, it was content. Every date became a photo shoot. Every restaurant meal got filmed. She started a wedding planning Instagram and TikTok. Gained followers fast with bride-to-be content. I'm not a social media guy. I have LinkedIn for work, that's it. But I loved her, so I played along. Smiled for the cameras, held her phone while she posed with the ring catching light just right. She wanted to document our journey to the altar. Fine. The wedding planning was insane. Everything had to be Instagram worthy. She hired a social media coordinator just for the wedding. Demanded specific flowers because they'd pop on camera. Changed the venue 3 times because the lighting wasn't right for photos. The budget ballooned from 30K to 75K. My savings, mostly, plus her parents threw in some. 2 months before the wedding, she decided we needed a live stream. Everyone's doing it now, she said. My followers want to see it. She had 47,000 by then. The wedding content was working. Here's where I made my first really smart decision. I insisted on handling the technical setup. Told her I wanted to contribute something personal to the wedding, and since I worked in tech, I'd manage the live stream myself. She loved it, one less thing for her to worry about, and she trusted me completely to make it perfect. I need you to understand something. I'm not a pushover. Never have been. I run a team of 12 developers. I negotiate million-dollar contracts. I just know how to pick my battles, and frankly, the wedding stuff seemed harmless. Let her have her princess day, I figured. Happy wife, happy life, right? 10 days before the wedding, I was working from home. We'd installed a security system 6 months earlier after some break-ins in the neighborhood. I was expecting a package, so I pulled up the camera feed to watch for the delivery truck. That's when I saw my groomsman's car in the driveway. Weird, I thought. He was supposed to be at work. Maybe he came by to drop something off? I scrubbed back through the footage. He'd arrived an hour earlier, let himself in with the spare key I'd given him for bachelor party planning. I switched to the interior cameras. Living room, empty. Kitchen, empty. Then I clicked on the bedroom feed. I've seen a lot of SHT in my life, but nothing prepared me for watching my fiancée effing one of my oldest friends in our bed. In the bed I bought. In the house I paid for. 10 days before our wedding. I sat there, staring at the screen. They were clearly comfortable with each other. This wasn't a first time. The way they moved together, the familiarity, this had been going on for a while. I wanted to storm in there. Every instinct told me to go home, kick in that door, and beat him until he couldn't walk. But something stopped me. Maybe it was the security camera angle, showing her wedding dress hanging on the closet door. Maybe it was the best day ever wedding planning binder on the nightstand. Or maybe it was the fact that everything was already paid for. Venue, catering, flowers, photographer, videographer, all non-refundable. $75,000, gone if I canceled. She wanted a show? She'd get one. I sat in my office for 3 hours, planning. By the time they finished and he left, I had my blueprint. I screen recorded everything, saved multiple copies. Then I did something that would make this perfect. I went through her phone that night while she slept and found their messages. Hundreds of them. Going back 4 months, 4 effing months. The messages were explicit. Photos, videos, detailed descriptions of what they wanted to do to each other. And the best part? SHT talking me. How I was too safe. How he was more exciting. How she was only marrying me for the lifestyle. I screenshotted everything. Uploaded it all to multiple cloud services. Then I got to work on the livestream setup. See, when you give someone technical control of your event, you should probably make sure they don't have a reason to F you over. I built in an override system, a simple remote trigger that would switch the video feed from the wedding cameras to other content. The next 10 days were the hardest of my life. I had to look at her every day, kiss her goodnight, pretend I was excited about the wedding. She was in full bride mode, constant posts about marrying my best friend and can't wait to say I do. Her followers ate it up. I played my part perfectly. Even had sex with her twice, which felt like effing a stranger. She noticed nothing. Too focused on her follower count, she'd hit 67,000 and was gunning for 100K before the honeymoon. The groomsman? We had drinks twice that week. He clapped me on the back, told me how lucky I was. Said he was honored to stand beside me. I smiled and bought another round. The night before the wedding, at the rehearsal dinner, she gave this speech about honesty and trust being the foundation of our relationship. I recorded it. Why not add to the collection? Wedding day arrived. Perfect weather, she'd been obsessing over it for weeks. The venue looked incredible, I'll give her that. Everything arranged for maximum visual impact. The live stream went live an hour before the ceremony. Pre-show content, guests arriving, behind the scenes prep. She was in heaven. I got ready with my groomsmen. The betrayer was all smiles, helping me with my cufflinks. Nervous? He asked. Nah, I said. I know exactly how today's gonna go. The ceremony started at 4 p.m. She walked down the aisle to some trending song she'd seen on TikTok. Beautiful dress, perfect makeup, practiced smile. The livestream chat was going crazy with heart emojis. We made it through the opening remarks, through the readings. Then came time for the vows. She went first, reading from cards she'd had custom calligraphed. Some BS about destiny and soulmates she'd probably gotten from Pinterest. And I promise to always be honest with you, to choose you every single day, to build a life of trust and love. That's when I did it. I had my phone in my pocket, finger on the trigger app I'd built. One tap. The livestream feed switched. Behind us, on the projection screen we'd set up so the back rows could see better, the security footage began playing. There was my bride, in our bed, with my groomsmen. The audio was crystal clear. The cameras had good microphones. For about 3 seconds, nobody reacted. Then the gasps started. The videographer, bless him, kept filming. The photographer started shooting rapid fire, pure instinct. She was still reading her vows, facing me, oblivious. But she heard the murmurs, saw my face change. She turned around. I'll never forget that moment. Watching her realize what 200 guests and 1,400 online viewers were seeing. Her face went from confusion to horror to rage in about 2 seconds. What the F? She actually said it into the microphone. I pulled out my own microphone, wireless, connected to the sound system. Oh, I've got more. The screen switched to screenshots of their texts. I'd made a slideshow, timed perfectly. Each message displayed for just long enough to read. The crowd was in chaos. Her parents were trying to stand, but people were packed in too tight. Turn it off. She screamed, dropping her bouquet, rushing at me. Turn IT off. 4 months, I said into the mic, stepping back. 4 months of effing him while planning our wedding. While spending my money. While posting about true love. The groomsmen tried to run. Emphasis on tried. My brother, 6 feet 4 inches, former college linebacker, clotheslined him into a row of chairs. The livestream chat was going absolutely insane. The viewer count was climbing, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. People were sharing it in real time. You're effing psycho. She screamed, trying to grab my phone. Her maid of honor held her back, plot twist, she'd known about the affair and kept quiet. I had those texts too, ready for phase 2 if needed. Ladies and gentlemen, I announced, calm as could be, the wedding is obviously cancelled. However, the reception is paid for, so please, enjoy the open bar and dinner. I'll be leaving now. I walked out. Just turned and walked straight down the aisle, out the door, to my car. Behind me, absolute pandemonium. The live stream kept rolling. The videographer, absolute legend, turned the camera on the chaos. I'd already packed my car with a suitcase. Drove straight to a hotel, checked in under a reservation I'd made days earlier. Opened my laptop and watched the stream. 4 hours. It stayed up for 4 hours before someone finally figured out how to KL it. By then, it had been screen recorded and reposted everywhere. 67,000 Instagram followers got to watch their perfect bride turn into a viral meme in real time. The hashtag veto the vows was trending within hours. I turned off my phone, ordered room service, and slept better than I had in weeks. That was 3 days ago. I'm back home now. She tried to come by yesterday with the police, claiming I'd stolen her belongings by packing them up. The officers looked around at the boxes labeled with her name, looked at the lease showing only my name, and told her it was a civil matter. She lost her SHT on my lawn. I filmed it through the window, just in case. The groomsman sent one text before I blocked him. Can we talk? No, we can't. Her social media is gone. Completely deleted. Her influencer career is over. The internet doesn't forget, and screenshots are forever. I've got a lawyer handling the vendor disputes. Since she publicly admitted to infidelity at the venue, some are actually offering partial refunds. Decent of them. People keep asking if I regret it. If I feel bad about ruining her life. Here's my answer: she made her choices. She chose to F my friend. She chose to lie to my face every single day. She chose to use me as a wallet while planning her next branch swing. I just chose to let everyone see who she really was. The wedding was supposed to be her big moment, right? Well, mission effing accomplished. Edit: since some of you asked, yes, I kept the ring. Bought it from a place with a generous return policy. That's another $15K back in my pocket. Update 1 week later. Jesus Christ, this exploded more than the wedding did. First, let me address the fake crowd. I've sent verification to the mods. Security footage, text screenshots, the whole package. Believe it or don't, I really don't give a SHT. Now for the actual update. The last week has been interesting. Turns out when you publicly nuke someone who is trying to be an influencer, there are consequences. Good and bad. Let's start with her. She lasted exactly 36 hours before the complete meltdown. After the lawn incident I mentioned, she went dark. Then Monday afternoon, her best friend tagged me in an Instagram story. Our bride had created a new account and was live, crying, trying to explain her side. I screen recorded the whole thing. Highlights include: it just happened, for 4 months? He wasn't giving me the attention I needed, I was literally funding her lifestyle. Everyone makes mistakes. Mistake is forgetting milk, not forgetting you have a fiancé while getting railed. He's abusive for doing this to me. Interesting definition of abuse. The live had maybe 200 viewers, but they weren't there to support her. The comments were brutal. Someone set up a donation link, not for her, for me. I'm not taking it, but it hit $3,000 before her friend convinced her to end the stream. Then came the legal threats. She hired a lawyer. A real bottom feeder who sent me a cease and desist about the Revenge PN. My lawyer laughed so hard he didn't charge me for the response. Security footage of my own home isn't Revenge PN. Text messages aren't Revenge PN. Being exposed as a cheater isn't illegal. Her lawyer then tried a different angle: intentional infliction of emotional distress. My lawyer's response was basically get effed in legalese. Truth is an absolute defense, and I have receipts for days. The groomsman went a different route. Showed up at my office Wednesday with flowers. Flowers. For me. With a card reading "I'm sorry bro." Security escorted him out. I had them keep the flowers, gave them to our receptionist. She thought it was hilarious when I explained why some random dude was trying to give me apology roses. He's been calling from different numbers, leaving voicemails. Everything from "let me explain to you ruin my life" to "we can work this out. Buddy, the only thing we're working out is a restraining order if you don't F off. Here's where it gets good though. Remember how I mentioned she had SHT talk me in their texts? Well, I wasn't the only one. She'd apparently been running her mouth about everyone. Her maid of honor, her other bridesmaids, family members, even her followers. Screenshots of her private messages calling her supporters desperate losers and walking ATMs. Someone, not me, compiled all of these and created a Twitter thread. It went mega viral. Hashtag walking ATM trended for 2 days. Her influencer friends abandoned her immediately. The brand deals she'd been bragging about? Gone. The wedding planning company that was going to feature her? They offered to feature me instead, as a cautionary tale about knowing your partner. I declined but respect the hustle. My favorite development: 3 other women reached out saying my groomsman had been in their DMs while he was effing my fiancée. One of them was her cousin. The cousin? Who was a bridesmaid? At the wedding? That's right, he was trying to create a whole family tree of side pieces. The cousin sent me everything. I didn't even have to ask. She was PSD about being played and wanted receipts out there. I pointed her toward Twitter. Let the internet do what it does best. Now for the really interesting part. Tuesday, I got a call from a producer at a major streaming platform. They want to do a documentary about modern betrayal in the social media age. Offered me mid-5 figures just for an interview. I said no. Not because I'm above it, but because I'm not done yet. See, what nobody knows is that I found more than just texts. I have access to her Google Drive. She saved her password on my computer. 7 months of content planning, including a document titled Exit Strategy. This BCH was planning to leave me after a year. Had it all mapped out. Build her following using the perfect wife angle, leverage my income to establish her brand, then divorce me and play the brave woman starting over card. She'd even calculated potential alimony. I haven't released this yet. Holding it in reserve. Why? Because she's trying to rebuild. New Instagram, new TikTok, positioning herself as a victim of toxic masculinity. She's gained about 2,000 followers, mostly hate watchers, but she doesn't realize that yet. Let her build. Let her think she's recovering. Then I'll drop the exit strategy document and watch it burn again. The house is peaceful now. I replaced the bedroom furniture, burned the old set in my backyard fire pit. Very therapeutic. The neighbors thought I was crazy until I explained. Now they bring me beer when I'm outside. My team at work has been incredible. My boss called me Monday and said, "Take all the time you need." Also, that was effing legendary. Turns out half the office watched it live. The other half caught the replays. I've had probably 50 messages from dudes with similar stories. Some waited years to find out. Some never got revenge. A few are planning their own reveals now. I started a Discord server, Exit Strategy Support Group. We're up to 300 members. Oh, and remember the videographer who kept filming? Sent me the raw footage. All of it. 3 cameras worth. Different angles of the revelation, crowd reactions, her face in 4K as her world imploded. He said it was the best wedding he'd ever filmed. I tipped him an extra grand. The photographer did a whole artistic series of the chaos. Black and white shots of people's reactions, her collapsed on the altar, the groomsmen getting tackled. He asked permission to submit it for awards. I said go for it. Art is art. For everyone asking about my mental state, I'm good. Better than good. There's something liberating about total honesty. No more pretending, no more doubts, no more wondering if I'm imagining things. I sleep like a baby. I wake up without anxiety. I'm hitting the gym harder than ever. Amazing what happens when you're not stressed about wedding planning. The only downside? Dating apps are weird now. Matches recognize me. Some are into it, some think I'm a psycho. Whatever. I'm not looking for anything serious. Just focusing on myself for now. But I did go on one date. She picked the restaurant, insisted on paying, and said, "I just wanted to meet the legend." We laughed about it. Nothing serious, but nice to know I've got options. To everyone saying I went too far, she effed around and found out. Sometimes consequences are immediate and brutal. Sometimes they're live streamed to thousands. She wanted to go viral. I made it happen. You're welcome, babe. Next update when I drop the exit strategy bomb. Stay tuned. Update 2, the wedding day details. You want the play-by-play of the wedding day? Here's what really went down. I woke up at 5 a.m. that day. Not from nerves, from excitement. Like a kid on Christmas morning who knows exactly what's in every present. Hit the gym at 5:30. Chest and arms, wanted a good pump for the photos that would live forever on the internet. My trainer asked if I was nervous. Nah man, today's gonna be perfect. Back home by 7, breakfast, shower, then I reviewed everything one more time. The Trigger app on my phone, backup triggers on my tablet and laptop. Tested the venue's Wi-Fi the night before during rehearsal, perfect connection. Even had a mobile hotspot as backup. When you're about to detonate someone's life, redundancy is key. The wedding party was supposed to meet at the venue at 10 a.m. Groomsmen photos at 11, ceremony at 4. 6 hours to maintain my composure while surrounded by the enemy. My brother picked me up at 9:30. He knew something was up. I'd told him I had concerns but to just be ready for anything. He thought I meant cold feet. If only. You good? He asked in the car. Never better. The venue was this converted barn, her choice, rustic chic or whatever, about 40 minutes outside the city. The owner had done an incredible job, string lights, flowers everywhere, perfect Instagram backdrop. She'd been there since 7 a.m. with her bridesmaids, directing setup like a general preparing for battle. I went straight to the groom's suite. My 5 groomsmen were already there, including Captain F. Stick himself. He had the audacity to hug me when I walked in. "Big day, brother." All smiles. "How you feeling?" "Like everything's about to change," I said, hugging him back. Kept it just tight enough to feel sincere, not tight enough to crush his ribs like I wanted. The photographer came in for the getting ready shots. Putting on cufflinks, adjusting ties, the fake candid laughing shots. I nailed every one. Even did the shot where all the groomsmen help with the jacket. F. Stick straightened my collar. The camera caught me smiling at him. Nobody caught the murder in my eyes. My dad arrived at 11. Pulled me aside immediately. "You sure about this, son?" For a second, I thought he knew. Then he continued, "Marriage is serious business. Your mother and I." "Dad," I cut him off. "I've never been more sure about anything in my life." He clapped my shoulder, told me he was proud. I felt bad for what he was about to witness, but not bad enough to stop. 11:30, groomsmen photos. The photographer was a real artist, had us all over the property. Walking shots, sitting on fence posts, the classic looking off into the distance pose. F. Stick kept making jokes, trying to keep everyone loose. I laughed at every one. Oscar-worthy performance. 12 o'clock, lunch in the groom's suite. She'd arranged catering for the wedding party. Sandwiches, fruit, beer for the guys. I ate normally, even had a beer. Needed to look relaxed. The others were talking about their speeches, the honeymoon, normal wedding SHT. "Were you going again?" one of them asked. "Bali," I said. 2 weeks. "Already cancelled, 80% refund because I'd bought the insurance." "Thanks for insisting on that, babe." 1 o'clock, her cousin, the one F. Stick was also trying to bang, texted me, "She looks perfect. Can't wait for you to see her." I responded with a heart emoji. If only she knew. 2 o'clock, guests starting to arrive. I watched from the window of the suite. Her extended family, cousins she hadn't talked to in years, college friends she'd invited for the follower count. My family, looking confused by all the cameras and the social media coordinator running around with a clipboard. 2:30, final bathroom break. Stood at the urinal next to F. Stick. He made a joke about draining the snake before the ball and chain. I laughed, zipped up, washed my hands while maintaining eye contact in the mirror. "Thanks for being here, man," I said. "Couldn't do this without you." He actually effing teared up. "Love you, bro." "Yeah. You too." 3 o'clock, Livestream went live. The social media coordinator had set up 3 cameras, one at the altar, one in the back for wide shots, one roaming for reactions. Professional setup, multiple angles, crystal clear audio. She'd hired the best. Perfect for my purposes. I watched on my phone as viewers started joining. Her followers were flooding the chat with hearts and "Yes queen and here for this love story." The viewer count climbed, 500, 700, 1000. 3:15, lined up for processional. I took my position at the altar with the officiant, a friend of hers who'd gotten ordained online. He asked if I was ready. "Brother, I've been ready for this my whole life." 3:30, music started. Bridesmaids down the aisle first, then groomsmen. F. Stick walked with her cousin, both smiling like they weren't both getting played. The maid of honor, who knew about the affair, wouldn't make eye contact with me. Smart girl. 3:45, the music changed. Everyone stood. The barn doors opened. There she was. Perfect white dress, cathedral veil, bouquet of peonies and roses that cost more than most people's rent. Her dad walked her down the aisle, tears in his eyes. Poor Btard had no idea he was delivering his daughter to her execution. She was radiant. Glowing. The videographer followed her every step. The photographer's camera clicked nonstop. The livestream chat exploded with compliments. When she reached me, her dad lifted her veil, kissed her cheek, and placed her hand in mine. His hand was shaking. Hers wasn't, too focused on the cameras, on her angles, on her moment. "You look beautiful," I whispered. "I know," she whispered back, smiling for the cameras. The officiant started his speech about love and commitment. I tuned it out, finger on my phone in my pocket, waiting for the perfect moment. She kept glancing at the livestream camera, checking her angle, making sure her good side was showing. The readings happened. Her college roommate read some Pinterest poem about soulmates. My uncle read Corinthians. Time crawled and flew simultaneously. Then, and now, the couple has prepared their own vows. This was it. She went first, pulling out her cards with hands that should have been shaking but weren't. The livestream camera zoomed in on her face as she began reading. From the moment I met you, I knew you were different. Standard SHT. Nothing personal, nothing real. She could have been reading to anyone. I watched the viewer count, 1,347 and climbing. And I promise to always be honest with you, to choose you every single day, to build a life of trust and love. My thumb found the app icon. To be your partner in all things. I tapped it. The screens around the barn flickered. The live stream switched. The security footage began playing. The audio hit first, her moaning filled the barn through the sound system we'd tested so carefully the night before. Then the visual caught up. There she was, in our bed, with my groomsmen. For 3 seconds, silence. Complete, perfect silence except for the sound of their effing on the screens. Then chaos. Gasps, screams, chairs scraping as people stood. The photographer's camera went full automatic, click 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 click. The videographer, God bless him, swung between the screen and her face like he was filming Wimbledon. She was still reading, hadn't noticed yet, forever and always. Then she heard her own voice moaning from the speakers. Saw my face. Turned around. I'll remember her expression until I die. The way her eyes went wide, mouth dropping open, bouquet falling from her hands. The veil made it even better, this ethereal bride realizing her fairy tale was becoming a horror movie in real time. What the F? Right into the microphone, broadcast to the barn in the live stream. I pulled out my wireless mic, calm as a bomb diffuser. Oh, I've got more. The screen switched to their texts. I'd organized them chronologically, most damning first. Her saying she was only with me for money. Him calling me a beta BCH. Her sending NDS while I was at work. Him describing what he wanted to do to her in our bed. The cousin saw the text about her and screamed. Actually screamed. F-stick tried to run. My brother, who'd been ready for something, just not this, went full linebacker mode. The photographer caught the tackle in a perfect action shot, groomsman in mid-air, boutonniere flying, pure panic on his face. She charged at me, designer heels slipping on the barn floor. Turn IT off. Turn IT the effing off. 4 months, I said into the mic, backing up slowly, making sure the cameras caught everything. 4 months of lies. 4 months of making me look like a fool. But who's the fool now? Her dad tried to get to the tech table to stop the stream. The social media coordinator, in shock, actually blocked him. I don't know how to stop it. Because I'd locked her out of her own system. Remote admin access is a beautiful thing. The screens kept cycling. Texts, photos, timestamps showing they were effing while I was at work, while I was planning our future, while I was paying for this effing wedding. The livestream viewer count hit 3,000. The chat was moving too fast to read. Someone was definitely screen recording, I could see phones up everywhere. The maid of honor tried to grab my phone. I held it above my head like a trophy. You knew, didn't you? Want me to show those texts too? She backed off immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, I announced, walking toward the aisle. The wedding is obviously cancelled. However, the reception is paid for, so please, enjoy the open bar and dinner. I'll be leaving now. Her mom rushed the altar, screaming at me in Tagalog. I don't speak it, but I got the gist. Her dad stood frozen, staring at the screen still cycling through evidence of his princess getting railed by a groomsman. My parents sat in their seats, my mom's hand over her mouth, my dad looking. Proud? He gave me the slightest nod as I passed. The walk down that all felt like a victory lap. Phones tracked me like I was a celebrity. The flower girl was crying. The ring bearer was taking photos with his iPhone. Behind me, I heard her collapse. Full dramatic breakdown, wailing into the microphone. The sound system was still on, broadcasting every sob to the reception barn next door where cocktail hour was supposed to start. I reached the doors, turned back for one last look. She was on her knees in the middle of the aisle, designer dress spread around her like a crime scene. The groomsman was still on the ground, my brother standing over him. The cousin was being held back by other bridesmaids. The live stream was still rolling. Viewer count, 5,743. I walked to my car, got in, drove away. In the rearview mirror, I could see people pouring out of the barn, some chasing after me, some just standing there stunned. 20 minutes down the road, I pulled over and checked the stream one more time. Someone had taken over the camera, was interviewing guests. I watched her dad find the groomsman and absolutely level him with a right hook. The chat went wild. I drove to my hotel, ordered a steak dinner, and watched the internet explode. By the time I finished eating, #VetoTheVows was trending. Someone had already made a TikTok with the security footage set to before he cheats. She wanted a viral wedding. She wanted everyone watching. She wanted to be the center of attention. Mission effing accomplished. The next morning, I had 47,000 Instagram followers. I made one post, a photo of the empty altar with the caption "Dodged a bullet." Then I set my account to private and haven't looked at it since. But I kept all the footage. Professional quality, multiple angles, perfect audio. Just in case I ever forget why I did it. She thought she was the director of the show. Turns out, she was just an actress who didn't know the script had been changed. And scene. Update 3, 1 month later, the fallout. 1 month. Feels like a year, feels like yesterday. The legal threats came in waves. First week was her lawyer with the revenge PN angle. Second week was defamation. Third week was theft, apparently exposing someone's text counts as stealing intellectual property. My lawyer started calling it the daily BS and charging her lawyer for wasting his time. Then F-Stick hired his own lawyer. Attempted to sue me for assault, the tackle, defamation, and get this, interference with business relations. Turns out my little show cost him his job. Someone sent the footage to his company's HR. Hard to keep your finance bro job when there's viral footage of you effing your friend's fiancé and calling your clients suckers in the group chat I also exposed. Yeah, I forgot to mention, I dropped more receipts. Had a whole folder of his SHT. Tax fraud jokes, cocaine at the office, client information he shouldn't have been sharing. The SEC got interested. He's got bigger problems than me now. But the best legal document came last week. Her parents are suing her for the $30,000 they contributed to the wedding. Their lawyer cited fraud and severe emotional distress. Her own parents. You can't make this SHT up. Let's talk about her downfall, because it's been effing beautiful. Week 1 post-wedding, she tried the victim angle. New Instagram, new narrative. Surviving emotional abuse. Toxic masculinity in the digital age. My truth. Got about 3K pity followers. Then someone found the exit strategy document. I didn't even have to release it. Her dumb sauce had shared it with her best friend over Google Docs. The best friend, feeling guilty about knowing about the affair, decided to clear her conscience by posting screenshots. 7 pages of calculated gold digging. Timelines for divorce, estimated alimony calculations, plans to build her brand using my income. She'd even researched divorce lawyers while we were engaged. Her 3K pity followers turned into 30K hate watchers overnight. The comments were brutal. She tried going live to explain, lasted 12 minutes before the comment section made her cry. Someone screen recorded it, naturally. Another meme was born. Week 2, she went dark, then resurfaced with a YouTube apology video. Full makeup tutorial at the beginning, old habits die hard, then 40 minutes of crocodile tears. The video got 2 million views but a 95% dislike ratio. The ad revenue would have been nice if YouTube hadn't demonetized it for harmful content. Week 3, desperation mode. Started an OnlyFans. I SHT you not. Announced it as taking control of my narrative through body positivity. Charged $50 for subscriptions. Plot twist, the groomsman's NDS got leaked on the same day. Not by me, I'm not touching that legal nightmare. But apparently, he'd been sending DK pics to half the city, and karma has a sense of humor. Someone made a side-by-side comparison with her of announcement. Twitter had a field day. The have lasted 4 days. Her subscriber count leaked, 47 people, including journalists documenting the train wreck. She made $2,350 before shutting it down. Probably needed it for lawyer fees. Week 4, rock bottom. She got evicted from her apartment. Turns out when your entire income depends on brand deals and sponsored posts, becoming the internet's most hated woman is bad for business. Her roommate, another influencer, kicked her out because the association was damaging her brand. She moved back with her parents. The same parents suing her. Thanksgiving's gonna be awkward. Now for my favorite development, the copycats. My Discord server grew to 8,000 members. Exit strategy support group became a movement. In the past month, a guy in Texas exposed his cheating fiancée at their rehearsal dinner using a PowerPoint presentation. A woman in Florida hired a skywriter during her ex's beach wedding to his mistress. A dude in Seattle set up a website with all the evidence, then bought Google ads for his ex's name. 3 separate people used my livestream method at their weddings. We had to create ethical guidelines. No revenge PN, no doxing, no physical violence. Just good clean public humiliation through truth. We even have lawyers in the group offering pro bono consultations. The groomsman's life imploded even worse than hers. Lost his job, lost his apartment, lost his friends. Moved back to his hometown where apparently everyone had seen the video. His mom called my mom to apologize. My mom. His mother was so mortified she felt the need to apologize to my family. He tried reinventing himself as a fitness influencer. Posted one workout video, the comments were all eggplant emojis and quotes from the wedding footage. Deleted everything within 24 hours. Last I heard, he's working at his uncle's landscaping company. Manual labor in the summer heat. Karma's a beautiful BCH. But here's where it gets really interesting. 2 weeks ago, I get a DM from a verified account. Netflix. They want to buy the rights to the story for a documentary series about modern betrayal. Offered low 6 figures. I countered with a different proposal. I'll give them the story free if they donate the fee to a scholarship fund for people who've been cheated on. Sounds stupid, but hear me out. Imagine giving some kid college money because their parent got screwed over. Turn this SHT show into something positive. They're considering it. Also got an offer from a dating app company. They want me to be their spokesperson for a new feature, background checks and social media deep dives for matches. Date with confidence. $250,000 for a year-long campaign. I said yes. Why not? If my mess can help others avoid theirs, might as well get paid for it. The wedding venue reached out last week. They want to host an anti-wedding party on the 1-year anniversary. Invite all the people who've been cheated on, have a big celebration of dodging bullets. Free venue, they just want the publicity. I'm thinking about it. Would be pretty poetic. Personal life update, I'm doing effing great. Therapy twice a week, not because I need it, but because processing this properly seems smart. Hit a 315 bench press last week. Started jujitsu, turns out choking people legally is great stress relief. Dating's been interesting. Went on 12 dates this month. 3 walked out when they recognized me. 2 wanted to hear every detail. 1 tried to record our conversation for TikTok. But a few were normal, cool about it, just curious about the real story. Met one woman who went through something similar. Her ex cheated with her sister. We spent the entire date comparing revenge stories. Hers involved a billboard. I was impressed. We're hanging out again next week. The house feels different now. Replaced everything she touched. New furniture, new paint, even new doorknobs. Sounds excessive, but I needed it gone. The security system stays though, that thing paid for itself 1,000 times over. My brother became a local celebrity. The tackle video got turned into a sports meme. ESPN actually featured it in their plays of the week as a joke. He's gotten 3 sponsorship offers from protein powder companies. Modern problems, modern solutions. My parents are handling it well. Dad keeps the newspaper clipping in his office. Apparently, I made the local news. Mom joined the Discord server to support other mothers. She's become the group therapist. Has a waiting list for her advice channel. The best part? I sleep perfectly. No revenge fantasies keeping me awake because I already lived it. No wondering what if because I know exactly what happened. No regrets because I executed it flawlessly. She texted me last week from a new number. One word, why? I responded with a screenshot of her exit strategy document and blocked the number. She wanted to use me as a stepping stone to fame. Congratulations, babe. You're famous. Just not how you planned. To everyone asking if I'm over it, yeah, I am. Anger's gone, replaced with satisfaction. She's living with her parents, Googling her name brings up the wedding footage, and she can't show her face without someone recognizing her as that cheating bride. Meanwhile, I'm up 40K from various refunds and deals, in the best shape of my life, and have a story that'll last forever. She played stupid games. She won stupid prizes. And I got the high score. Next update will be the 1-year anniversary. Something tells me it's gonna be special. Stay toxic, stay honest, and always check your security cameras. Edit, since everyone's asking, yes, the wedding photographer submitted his photos to contests. Won 2 awards so far. The tackled groomsman shot got an honorable mention in some prestigious photography competition. Art really does imitate life. Final update, 3 months later, closure. This is it. The final update. Time to close this chapter. 3 months ago, I stood at an altar and destroyed 2 lives on Livestream. Today, I'm writing this from my new place. Yeah, I moved. Not because I had to, but because I wanted a fresh start. Kept the old house as a rental property. First tenants move in next week. Charging them 30% below market because they're a young couple and I'm feeling generous. Karma points, right? Let's wrap up the loose ends. Last I heard, through the grapevine, she's working at her aunt's nail salon. Cash only, under the table, because her name is still poison for any real employment. Tried to start a coaching business about surviving public humiliation. Price? $500 per session. Clients? 0. She still texts me sometimes. Different numbers, same desperation. They range from apologizing to threatening to begging. I screenshot them all for the lawyer but never respond. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. Her parents went through with the lawsuit. She settled out of court, payment plan over 2 years. Her own parents are making her pay them back in installments like a car loan. Family dinners must be fun. The groomsman fled the state. Literally. Moved to somewhere in the Midwest where hopefully nobody knows him. Still landscaping, deleted all social media, basically became a ghost. His ex-best friend, mutual acquaintance, told me he's in therapy now. Good. Maybe he'll learn to keep his DK in his pants. His parents sent me a formal apology letter. Handwritten, old school. I actually wrote back, told them it wasn't their fault their son was a piece of SHT. We're weirdly pen pals now. His mom sends me book recommendations. The Netflix deal went through, but differently. They're doing a documentary series about social media revenge stories. Mine's the premiere episode. They donated $100,000 to a charity supporting people rebuilding after betrayal. I got to pick the charity. Felt good. Filming was surreal. Sitting in front of cameras, telling the story again, but with perspective this time. The director asked if I had regrets. I said yeah, I regret not having more cameras at better angles. It airs next month. They're calling it Digital Revenge, Love in the Time of Live Streams. Pretentious as F, but I'm here for it. The dating app deal, just wrapped filming the first commercial. They flew me to Miami, put me up in a penthouse, had me deliver one line. I learned the hard way, always check twice. Then they show the wedding footage. Simple, effective, brutal. The campaign launches next week. Bus stops, billboards, the works. My face is about to be everywhere with a tagline, "Don't get played." The irony isn't lost on me. Already getting recognized more. Had a guy stop me at the gym last week, wanted to shake my hand. His wife cheated with his business partner. We spotted each other on bench press and exchanged war stories. The Discord server. 15,000 members now. We've become a legitimate support network. Weekly Zoom calls, local meetup chapters, even a vetted therapist directory. Started a podcast, the Chump to Champ Pipeline. I host it with the billboard woman I've been dating. Yeah, that's still happening. More on that in a minute. Success stories pour in daily. Not all revenge, lots of people just rebuilding, moving forward, becoming better. That's the real win. Turning pain into power, betrayal into betterment. We've got lawyers, therapists, financial advisors, even a few private investigators offering discounted services. It's beautiful, a whole ecosystem born from one live stream disaster. Personal life. Remember the billboard woman? Let's call her V. Things got serious. Not rushing anything, but she gets it. We compare notes on trust issues, laugh about our respective psycho exes, support each other's healing. She's got her own business, her own money, her own life. Doesn't need me for SHT except companionship. It's refreshing. We're planning a trip to Japan next month. No social media, no posts, just us. Funny thing, we have movie nights where we watch romantic comedies and point out all the red flags. Turned it into a drinking game. Take a shot every time someone forgives cheating too easily. We get wasted pretty quick. The venue anniversary party. It's happening. Next month, 1 year exactly from D-Day. The venue's going all out, DJ, open bar, catering. They're calling it the Dodged Bullet Ball. Everyone's invited, anyone who's been cheated on, left at the altar, or just wants to celebrate surviving toxic relationships. Already got 500 RSVPs. The videographer and photographer from the wedding are coming to document it. Full circle. They're doing it free, said my wedding was the best thing that ever happened to their careers. 5 and 1 are going together. Not as a couple announcement or any of that SHT, just two people who turned their worst days into their origin stories. Reflections. People ask if I'm proud of what I did. Pride's the wrong word. Satisfied? Yes. Justified? Absolutely. But proud? Nah. Pride's for accomplishments. This was just consequences catching up to actions. Would I do it again? In a effing heartbeat. But differently. I'd hire more cameras, maybe a drone. Get multiple angles of her face when it hit. 4K wasn't enough, I want that SHT and IMAX quality. The therapy helped more than I expected. Not to process trauma, watching her world implode on livestream was therapeutic enough. But to understand why I ignored the red flags, why I stayed when my gut said run. Turns out having standards isn't toxic masculinity, it's self-respect. Lessons learned. Trust your instincts. That feeling in your gut when something's off? Listen to it. Security cameras are worth every penny. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. The best revenge really is massive, public success. Document everything. Everything. Your worth isn't determined by who you're with. Sometimes the trash takes itself out, but sometimes you need to set it on the curb yourself. Final thoughts. 3 months ago, I was the guy who got cheated on. Now I'm the guy who turned betrayal into a business model, pain into profit, and humiliation into heroism. Not bad for a software engineer who just wanted a normal wedding. She wanted to go viral. Mission accomplished. Her wedding video has 47 million views across all platforms. She's in textbooks now, marketing professors use her as a case study in how not to build a brand. Her legacy is being a cautionary tale. You're welcome for the immortality, babe. Me? I'm just a guy who refused to be anyone's meal ticket. Who chose scorched earth over silent suffering. Who live-streamed the truth when lies were being sold as love. To everyone in similar situations, you don't have to take it. You don't have to be the bigger person. Sometimes, the bigger person is the one who stands up and says F this, F you, and F off in front of everyone. But also remember, revenge is just the first step. The real win is rebuilding. The real victory is becoming someone who'll never tolerate that SHT again. This is my last update. Story's over. She's in the past, I'm in the present, and the future's looking bright. Stay strong, stay savage, and always, always, trust your gut. Peace out. Viral Groom 2024, signing off. Edit, for everyone asking, no, I won't reveal personal details, locations, or real names. Yes, this is real. No, I don't recommend everyone go nuclear like I did. Your mileage may vary. But if you do it, make sure the cameras are rolling. Edit 2, V says hi. She's reading the comments over my shoulder and laughing. She says the next wedding better have metal detectors to check for hidden cameras. I told her the next wedding will be ours and it'll be phones off, family only, no live stream. She said F that, I want a drone. I think I'm in love. Final edit, since this blew up again, I'm donating $1 for every award to the scholarship fund mentioned earlier. Current count would fund 2 full semesters for someone. Thanks for turning my SHT show into something positive, Reddit. Remember, the best revenge is a life well lived. But sometimes, a live-streamed public humiliation helps too. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.